circular in force. And at the top we have this massive wind turbine, which basically ventilates, produces enough power to power the core. I think it's 5 times over.
It's an extremely efficient position on the top of the building.
So it's the wind turbine's lying horizontally.
Yeah.
So whichever way the wind blows, it still spins. I think the idea is to try and make it into a building, which actually stands out from any other buildings ever being built. So it's like a circular building.
Yeah.
But all the floor plates are sort of expressed as wavy lines. So you get this sort of, it's almost like a series of poppadons, one on top of the other. I think now, if we can, with a spherical, make a sort of new iconic architecture, and people then rise to the challenge of that on other buildings, I think that would be great. And it's, in a way, the Gherkin in London is a marker that says the next building has to be better than the Gherkin.
Right.
It actually sort of puts its mark down and says it pushes everybody up to the next level.
Right.
And hopefully the Spiracle do the same in Leeds. That would be the challenge.
So the Spiracle, it literally will take place on the site of the old pool.
It's right here, yeah.
So I don't think I'll be sorry to see it go. You obviously won't feel sorry for it to go.
Sooner the better.
The pool is a rare city centre leisure resource, but to many it represents design failure and corruption. This was a Paulson design, and after his imprisonment, the city isn't sentimental about his legacy. In Chapeltown, I found an award-winning architect who believes lack of leadership will mean we fail to build a better Britain, just like the corruption and bad design destroyed the legacy of the 60s. She's Irina Bauman. Irina's Tower Works project in the heart of Leeds is all about sustainability and human scale, not tall buildings. Irina believes Bradford may even have a better future than Leeds.
So at the moment we've got a mood in this country to create high-rise buildings. There is no proven demand in Leeds that we actually need that space.
Do you think that's egos then that's trying to make kind of these iconic kind of structures?
I think it is largely to do with vanity, human vanity and greed. I do. And I don't really want to knock developers because they are extraordinary people. They are risk takers, they fuel the economy, they are exciting, they create possibilities. But at the moment nobody's actually looking, I can't hear the voice of the city.
Bradford has got this master plan that Will Alsop has created. I suppose really it is about kind of hot air and ideas. Do you think it could succeed?
I think Bradford is a completely different story, and I think Bradford needs to understand that they have to have a relationship with Leeds like Lauren and Hardy. It has to be about contrast. They mustn't try and do what Leeds is doing because there's no point. Why should there be another Leeds? There's always a transition period between a city being at the bottom of a pile, which Bradford has been. The confidence is still a bit shaky, and they are just at that point now. It's still a bit shaky, it's still a bit unsure, uncertain. They still can't get the big development off the ground. But the thing to do then is to just stick to your guns and say, well, the first thing we're going to build is going to be superb, and that will set the tone, and it will get easier.
Westfield's shopping centre site still has no date for works to start, so it looks like that next big building will be the replacement for the Bradford Odeon. The building is being designed by Gordon Carey. Gordon is an office expert and his practice is like an architecture factory. A 20-year success that employs 150 people, including 60 architects.
Right.
So you can see the general work area.
This morning he's giving me a sneak preview of the future for Bradford.
So I'll go through and I'll show you some of the work which we're doing now.
Okay.
Relating to Bradford.
Oh, great. This is the first time I've seen this then.
Right.
So this is where the Odeon is now.
Yeah, and the Alhambra is to the left.
Yeah.
And then this is the new Mirror Pool. Which is creating this new public space for the city.
Yes. So what we're looking at now, how will this reflect on what will probably be built? Is it nearly there? Is it?
It's got a way to go. I mean, what the citizens of Bradford need to see is good, strong buildings. And one of the things which impresses me about Bradford, they're very proud buildings, quite tall buildings. They have a lot of quality. The materials which you use, stone, the verticality of the structure, the window proportions, that's what we're trying to do with this, to pick that up in a modern style.
Okay.
These louvers then, which will be multicoloured, is reflecting sort of the multicultural nature of Bradford.
Yeah.
And we're still using the traditional materials of stone, but getting the detail right, that's so important.
Why is it important to have buildings like this in Bradford?
Well, I think it's the time. I think it is the renaissance of Bradford. I think everything tells me that it is Bradford's time to move forward.
Yes.
So what actually happens in Bradford could even be better than Leeds. You know, who knows?
Gordon's certainly an evangelist, and I'm sure Bradford needs something to happen. But is this it? I return to have a look at the Odeon and a think about the future.
And where do we go forward from here then? Because I can already see the big area of water. This is City Hall here, is that right?
Yes, there is probably no other city with that kind of water feature at its heart. Bradford wants to be different. We want a city with edge. A city is about having an edgy feel to it.
But regeneration is about confidence, isn't it? And the people of Bradford have seen an empty site with a big kind of mound of rubble in the middle of it for 18 months now.
Perhaps not as long as that, but too long, you're absolutely right. And it does knock the confidence of people in the city and people looking at the city as an investment prospect.
6 months of this would knock confidence. It's been 2 years.
So we're very pleased to see Westfield in town, and we're really looking forward to Westfield starting in town.
And when will they start?
You will ask Westfield that question.
Westfield won't say when the building will start, but Maud is in charge of the Odeon project. I wanted to know if she thought Gordon Carey's office was the best possible design for the site.
Now, you've seen the plans for the Odeon. Are you a fan? Do you like it?
We're delighted with the way they're developing, and I think that's the important thing.
Yeah.
It's work in progress.
Sure, but I was slightly underwhelmed by the scheme, I have to say. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was kind of thinking, wow, you know, it's such a big thing, it's got to be great, and that's it? I don't know.
Well, I think we need to ensure that you are wowed and surprised.
I think I just wanted to be wowed by that building. I really did. I wanted it to blow my socks off, and it didn't necessarily. I'm not going to say that in reality it won't do that.
Well, you keep an open mind, Linda.
Of course!
We've obviously got a bit of convincing to do, but we are very confident that Bradford will get a landmark building that will really kickstart the commercial market here.
The more I've seen here in Bradford and in Leeds, the more I think the Will Alsop plan for Bradford really is inspired. Bradford still has great buildings, nearly 4,000 of them are listed. It has culture, its growing population and its entrepreneurs can really get the economy going. But we need to stick to the vision. The Alsop plan works because it has green space and it puts a premium on quality of life. That will draw people here, not copying Leeds with office building and shopping centres you could find in any town. Bradford does need new employers, new retail, but not in place of a beautiful city. It needs them as well. Now, that could make us the envy of the world again.
If you've got an opinion on Leeds and Bradford's changing skyline, BBC Radio Leeds is holding a debate. To have your say, log on to bbc.co.uk.